In this tutorial, we'll learn how to build calculations in Oracle Analytics Cloud and Fusion Data Intelligence. Calculations are a powerful tool that allow me to create new custom columns based on existing dataset columns by utilizing a set of operators and functions. In this scenario, I'll create custom calculations like aggregate functions and case statements using a sales and retail dataset. Building these calculations enables me to extend my data analysis capabilities and gain a better understanding of the product discounts my company offers. I'll begin on the home page and create a workbook using my retail dataset. I'll first save and name this workbook Retail Discounts. By default, the My Calculations folder in the data pane is empty. I can right-click and select Create Calculation. This brings up the calculation creation dialog with three main sections. I can provide a name and optional description at the top. I'll name this calculation Discounted Price. In the box below, I can define the logic by using columns in the dataset and the set of operators and functions seen on the right. Expanding the operators section reveals basic operators like plus and multiply and a description of how to use them. For my first custom calculation for discounted price, I want to use the gross unit price measure minus the discount measure. This will give me the discounted price. I can reference these columns in three ways: by dragging a measure from the data pane, double-clicking it, or typing its name and selecting from the drop-down list. It's important to note that if a measure isn't referenced properly, this name will be interpreted as plain black text, and the calculation will not work as expected. Properly referenced columns appear as blue text. I can check my calculation syntax by clicking Validate to see if there are any errors. Once my calculation is ready, I'll select Save. Now this custom calculation appears in the My Calculations folder and can be used like any other column in our dataset. For example, I can find the average discounted price for different product subcategories. I'll select Product Subcategory, the custom calculation, right-click to pick a visualization, and choose a bar chart. I'll select the Properties tab, then the Values tab. I'll set the aggregation by order ID and product name attributes, and set the aggregation method to average. As expected, my chart shows the average price of items like labels and pens are cheaper, while products like copiers and fax machines are more expensive. These prices look right to me. Now I'll build a second calculation using aggregates. I'll right-click My Calculations again and choose Create Calculation. Beyond standard operators, there are several function sections. A common type of function to use is aggregate and running aggregate functions. These include ways to combine data, like aggregate by column, count, count distinct, or median. I'll select the percentile function and expand its description to see what it does, the function syntax, and required inputs. I can either drag the function to the logic area, double-click it, or type its name and select it from the drop-down. I'll name this calculation Discount Percentile to calculate the percentile rank for product discounts. Notice that the function has an italicized column input. That means I need to add a column as an input to the function. I can drag in a column or select from the list. Then I'll validate and save. Now I'll multi-select the discount measure, product name attribute, and my custom discount percentile calculation, and create a table visualization. I'll sort the table by discount percentile. The higher the percentile, the more total discounts have been applied to purchases of that product. This lets me see where the most discounts are being given and identify thresholds. For example, products in the 90th percentile have had about $1,000 of total discounts associated with them. Now I'll build a string function calculation. These are useful for text-based attribute data, for tasks like combining strings or replacing values. I'll use the replace function to update a product name that isn't displaying properly without editing the core dataset. I'll name this calculation Correct Product Names. Enter the product name I want to replace, validate, and save. Then I'll drag this calculation onto the grammar pane of my table, and the product name displays as updated. Next, I'll build an expression calculation. I'll right-click My Calculations folder and click Create Calculation to look at the expression calculations. Expression calculations let me use if-else statements or case logic. I'll drag case if into the logic and name this calculation discount tier. I want to label products based on whether they have normal, no, or large discounts. I'll define the first condition. When discounted price equals gross unit price, return no discount. Then a second condition. If discounted price is less than gross unit price times 0.75, return large discount. Else, return normal discount. Notice I'm referencing another calculation within this calculation. This is an example of a nested calculation. This keeps complex logic clear and manageable. Now I'll validate and save. I'll open a new canvas and create a bar chart with the order count measure and discount tier calculation. In Properties, I'll set aggregation by order ID. I'll sort by discount tier. And now I can see most orders have large discounts, and only a few have none. From here, I could create additional case calculations to get a more detailed breakdown of discount tiers. Now that I've created several calculations, I'll organize them by right-clicking My Calculations and create a folder called Discount Calcs to group relevant calculations together. By building calculations, I can create custom columns based on my data, giving me new insights and allowing for more flexible, customized analysis. Find more videos about calculations and additional resources on using Oracle Analytics Cloud and Fusion Data Intelligence in the links below.